Hi, welcome. Thanks for tuning in to learn some Jewish wisdom with the Podcast Fellowship. Watching any video on this channel will make you eligible for a cash prize this week, even if it's an older video. All you got to do is watch the video, click the link below, fill out the form, and let us know what you learned, and you'll be entered into a raffle this week. Now let's dive in to 3 minutes of Jewish wisdom. Welcome back, everybody. Continuing now with Chapter 5, Mishna number 4 in Pirkei Avos. Asara nisim nasu lavosenu b'Mitzrayim. There were 10 miracles that happened to our ancestors way back in Egypt when we were enslaved in Egypt. V'asara al hayam, and there were 10 miracles in the sea, the splitting of the sea. There were 10 miracles that happened then as well. Asara makos hevi HaKadosh Baruch Hu al Mitzrayim b'Mitzrayim v'eser al hayam, and Hashem, God, also brought 10 makos, 10 plagues on the Egyptians. Those are the famous ones that are brought down in the Torah, and another 10, which are not as famous, at the Yam Suf, at the splitting of the sea. The Mishnah continues, Asara nisyonos nisu avosinos makom baruch hu bamidbar. 10 challenges did we, the Jewish people, challenge God in the desert. God said, this is a quote from Bamidbar, we challenge God 10 times. God says, you challenged me these 10 times, and you didn't listen to what I was saying. And so there's a lot we could unpack in this Mishnah. One of the questions I had was, how are we challenging God? Like, literally just took us out of Egypt, right? There were 10 plagues, miraculous plagues in Egypt, at the sea. We're in the desert, so we're having the man, right? The manna that fell from heaven. There's all these miracles happening. We're being protected on all sides. God is taking care of all of our needs. How and why are we challenging Him? And one of the challenges that was brought is the Jewish people were saying, like, oh, you remember in Egypt we had such good food. We had watermelons, we had cucumbers, we had meat. And they're literally wanting to go back to the place where there were slaves, but all they're remembering was like, let's go back. All they're saying is, let's go back to Egypt. And you got to wonder, like, you want to go back to Egypt? And now you might say, from an economic perspective, it's a smart idea, right? Egyptians were decimated in the plagues, and so they're like, there's this great land that's ours for the taking. Like, why are we going to Israel? This place that we have no idea what's there. We've never been there before. Moses, you're leading us to this country that we've never been to. Let's just go back to Egypt. We know Egypt. It's safe. It's secure. We'll take over. The Jewish people were millions of people in the desert. Let's go back. And the challenge is to keep your eye on the ball. To stay focused on what your goal is. And oftentimes, if we work really hard, we do know what our goal is in our lives. It's difficult, but it's not always so complicated to know what is the best thing to do. And we get distracted by all these other things. Look at this is shiny, or maybe I should do it that way. But at the end of the day, in this specific situation, the Jewish people, your job, go to Israel, the Jewish homeland. That's where God chose for you to stay. Don't get distracted with all these things. You're challenging me, and I'm literally God. I know what's up. So the message for us is that if we know what the right thing is to do, let's follow that. And don't get distracted by some things on the side that might seem to be the right thing, but really aren't helping us reach our God-given purpose, where we're going to with our lives. That's 3 minutes. See you next week. Thanks so much for watching. Reminder to let us know what you learned from this video in the link below and get entered into a raffle for a cash prize this week. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next week.